Maybe your pops was tops. Maybe your father's a bother. If he's angry and mad or in absentee lad, no matter what kind you had, here's fuck you, Dad.
Welcome to another episode of Fuck You Dad, everybody. This week we got a very funny guest, Luke Neuman, Chicago comic. Great voice, great man. What's up, Luke?
Hello. I like this. I already talked about this, but I like a cheap drink in a nice glass.
No, it's nice. That's really all Nick is as a person.
Yes.
And that's all he serves.
That's exactly.
He's
That
a
is
nice,
me,
yeah,
man.
He's a cheap drink and I won't even say a nice glass. Like
This is
a
nice
mediumly
glass.
okay
A
glass.
nice glass. I'm a
You're
nice
a
frosted. I'm
goddamn
a
7 out
frosted
of 10
mug,
glass.
dude. No, thank you. Luke, how did you handle the pandemic?
It was fine. Everyone was on my fucking team suddenly. I don't like germs,
Yeah.
and so
Oh, you were way ahead then.
yeah. So it was just like everyone was everyone was asking me like, you don't like germs? Are you freaking out? I'm like, no, everyone's just finally on
Yeah.
my side.
Yeah.
Don't touch me.
Everyone's on my wavelength.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, you should wash your hands 7 times a day. I
How many
do
people
want to
I
stay inside.
see pick up a cigarette off the ground and smoke it. That's disgusting.
Oh, one of
And
our
it's
friends did
common.
that. One of our
Everybody
friends
does
did
see
that
all the time.
Oh my god, dude.
So yeah, you gotta.
A cigarette is already from the ground. Like
Yeah.
that already has enough toxins from the ground.
Yeah.
And then you put it on the ground and you re-smoke
But
it.
there's a certain logic because you are just inhaling cancer. Like, what's the point of dirty cancer? Like, who cares? Like, do you want to smoke a clean, healthy cancer cigarette?
Yeah,
like,
that's why I
it's
got
already
American
bad for you.
Spirits. Look at the native on there. He's like buff. There's a
Yeah,
reason they
that's
did that.
because it's false advertising.
Yeah, it's real.
all
He has
the
like
crap.
an Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I like how you had
chest.
you're like, I'm scared of germs, and you're just inhaling 47 toxins.
It doesn't make
every-
any sense. I'm afraid of specific germs. I don't like hands.
You know, everybody's like that.
Yeah.
All the OCD people I know, they're like,
Yeah.
they're always scared of specific things, but then they're fucking filthy.
that adds up. My places. I live by myself now, and it is. I get in my nerves. I just strip. My clothes are in weird places. I can't find anything. It's disgusting.
So you like your own germs. You fuck with those.
I'm comfortable with them. I'm irritated by them. I
Okay.
should be better. I should not be living like I am. It's not even that bad. I actually just
Yeah.
got a vacuum cleaner. So I bought a
How old are you?
fucking 30.
Okay.
But I bought an
Hey,
industrial.
like,
no.
you're bragging?
I've had vacuums before.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I've upgraded.
Bragging.
Yeah,
All right.
I got an industrial shop vac
All
that
right.
I can like destroy my old vacuum cleaner and suck it into my new vacuum
Yeah,
cleaner.
Oh,
you got one of
shit.
those that it looks like a pop can that got like stepped on with
Yeah.
a tube out of it.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
completely inconvenient.
So what are you doing to your apartment alone that's so bad you need to bring industrial style
I just hate it.
vacuums in?
I went through like 3 vacuums and they break. They don't work.
You coming
They're
in that
weak.
thing?
I don't come in it. No.
Oh,
There's usually run
But it's
by
like
a
how
motor.
much shit is
Yeah.
going on in the
Nothing. I was just like, it was like really, I just, so far I've cleaned up cat litter and like a soup I spilled. But that was fun. I vacuumed soup.
Okay.
You ever do that?
No.
No. You got a shit vacuum cleaner. I vacuumed up soup.
I don't own a vacuum cleaner, but also I don't spill soup everywhere.
Well,
You know?
I can live on both
Kenyon,
sides.
you don't
of
own a
that.
vacuum cleaner?
No. I have 3 roommates. I don't own most things.
You
I don't
don't need a
even
vacuum
own
cleaner.
myself, really.
They're not expensive.
Huh?
You should get a nice vacuum cleaner. Is extremely expensive. A shop vac's cheap. Get a shop vac.
Well, this is a conversation shape for a sadder portion of my life.
Don't
we don't
give
have,
a
we don't this isn't we need to jump into vacuum tips
Sorry,
right now.
okay.
No, I know. Just last episode, there was a lot of like, oh, Nick, doesn't care about his life. Fuck Nick. But we're recording in my living room, and you don't own a vacuum. So I
Which is-
Okay, I don't own a
which is
vacuum, but also
lovely,
I don't
by
own
the
a
way.
vacuum because sadly I don't own enough things to vacuum. It's very easy to keep my 1 bedroom apart, my 1 room clean. The rest of my apartment belongs to the others. They'll clean it, you know.
You don't deserve this place.
You're right.
This is nice.
I know. I'm wearing
very-
a lobster
what's-
shirt. I don't deserve a lot.
There's like a faint sound of a fountain going on.
There's
in
just
the
a
back.
fountain in the back.
There's a fountain in the
Yeah.
back. This is
relaxed.
Japanese steakhouse vibes
Yeah.
going on.
Look at that vac. That's a nice vacuum too.
I know, and
That's a
that
Dyson.
all my friends
You
are
wouldn't
like,
know.
Nick, Nick, why don't you come out? Why don't you come out at all? And it's like, because I got a fucking fountain in my living room.
You live in a cave. You live in a basement with no windows.
Yeah.
I have a few friends in basements without windows. That's a
I
bizarre
used
life.
to live in a basement with no windows, bro.
Yeah.
Me and Kenyon both did.
Yeah, it was rough.
I live in a huge basement right now with giant windows. It's incredible. I
Do
love
you-
my new place.
Can I ask you? Can I try to guess some aspects of your life, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong?
Okay.
Does your computer have more than 2 monitors?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
And
seem so irritated by that
Yeah,
fucking
dude,
question.
I have monitors lying around.
I know you do. I know you do.
You only have one. As soon as you go up to 2, you get it, and you're like, oh, well, I need 3.
I need 3 or 4.
I have one that's horizontal
Oh, those are very cool.
for my excelling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the weirdest country that you've listened to metal from? It's gotta be
Saudi Arabia.
That is
Because
crazy.
it's this band, I'm gonna mess up the name. This is the best metal band that's ever existed.
I knew you were into metal.
And they're
Look at you.
terrible. I hate it about myself. I don't like wrestling, but I
He's
really like
you're
metal.
flannel when you work in tech. Yeah.
Yeah.
This just adds up. 1 + 1 = 2. I mean,
I
it's not.
cannot defend that bullshit genre, but I love it with all my heart. It is very stupid music. But this band Al Nuribi, they play in Saudi Arabia. Hopefully still playing, and they were it's like black metal, so it's like very anti-God, and they were actively being pursued by the government for execution, and they have to record everything in secret.
That's very metal.
That's very
That's
metal.
about as metal as it gets.
And they are
And you go to a metal
terrible.
concert, headbang, and then get your head banged off with a
Yeah.
knife.
Yeah,
That's fucking crazy.
and they're fucking awful, but that's not the point. They're the most metal band
Oh,
there
I thought
is.
you really popped the hot air balloon.
Yeah, that's
on
a
that
fun
one.
random fact I had. More
Yeah.
metal questions. I'm good at those ones.
Saudi Arabian metal.
Saudi Arabian black metal.
Okay, that's it. So what? The
Are they
regular
black-
metal there? That's not a
they
hardcore.
No,
Black
black
people?
no. Oh god. All right, I've run into this problem before. Black metal is like satanic metal.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's not black people metal. It's like it means like Hail Satan. The Norwegian bands with the face makeup and
Right.
nonsense.
Now I've heard of that.
That's black
Yeah,
metal. Yeah.
That's fun.
I've run into that problem before.
You ever met the devil?
No,
Okay. That was my third question.
I should have yes-anded.
That's okay.
A Ouija board spooked me out one time. So
Oh,
maybe-
tell me about that.
good.
I don't
Let's
even
get into
remember
that.
It was I don't know. I was young. Someone moved it. I was scared. Your basic Ouija board spookies.
Yeah, okay.
When
When you say that like
Yeah.
it's a relatable
I'm
experience, I
sorry.
don't know what the fuck you're talking
You never
about.
did a Ouija board?
No, I've never even
Oh.
seen one in real life.
Oh, really?
We can make
Yeah.
one.
I mean, it's so. If you get spooked by a Ouija board, I mean, it's really silly. We're all touching it.
Oh, okay.
Where's the ghost?
He's also
Right.
touching it.
But we're all touching it,
Yeah.
and it's
Right.
moving. That's not surprising. I don't know.
Right.
You gotta trust your
Nobody
pals.
touch it and then watch it move. Then I'm like, oh, here's the ghosty boasty.
Second,
You can do whatever you want to do.
I thought you were
crack
just
that.
like looked like you were just grabbing the tit of a ghost right there.
yeah. Can I,
That's
can I
kind
just?
of that's
Sorry.
what's going on right there.
So where did you grow up?
Tucson. I was born in Dayton, Ohio. Then I moved to Manassas, Virginia, and then Tucson for most of it. So like
Okay.
first grade on Tucson.
That's kind of a tour of mediocre cities right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you been to Manassas?
I'm not, but I've been
Oh.
to Virginia and not had a great time. You just go to Virginia and you're like, all right, I'm gonna keep moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, Virginia and you're like, sweet,
You're
I'm
like,
on the
I
way
get
to
it.
bigger and better.
What's this? Top of the South? Very nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
yeah, sweet. I think I'm gonna go for the end.
Lovely.
Yeah. It's somehow more southern than other parts of the South.
I would imagine. I haven't been
Like,
there
because I,
since was
lived
little.
in
Yeah.
North Carolina for most of my life. Every time I pass through Virginia, I'm like, why is there so many Confederate flags? I'm like, you guys you're basically Maryland. I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah, you're very. There's a big
It's
South.
done. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's done. It's just like when when somebody's like clearly insecure that they're not enough of something.
Yeah.
I feel like Virginia feels like they're not southern enough because they aren't.
No.
And I'm like, you're basically
You're the
DC.
middle child.
state. Yeah,
You're
you're
in
DC. Yeah,
Stop it.
yeah. And it's just, shut
DC
up.
is your economy, and then sad coal miners with no jobs.
yeah.
Which is
You
brutal.
drive-
Yeah, but at least West Virginia is like that's its own sad little state. Virginia just sucks.
West Virginia's scary, I
sucks
think,
something
yeah.
extra.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They suck to the point where it's like this
Dangerous
is
and
a phenomenon.
horrifying?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
this is like a nightmare.
Those guys scare me.
yeah. No, it's rough.
Appalachia.
Yeah.
You wash
but-
out now.
Yeah.
There's
You
like I guess the capital of the Confederacy was in Virginia.
Right. So
I think that's why they're like, yeah, us too.
Yeah,
I see the
yeah.
Confederate flag everywhere. To a lot of people, that flag means "F-U city slicker," which they're wrong about.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. That's why.
that's the unfortunate truth about that because it's all over Tucson too.
Yeah.
And it's like fuck you with your big city living, and it does. They have it's in their heads. It's not racist. They're
Right.
just wrong.
Yeah.
They are
aggressively
wrong.
Yeah.
It's just what I grew up with.
I just feel like it's
Same
like,
thing
yeah.
in Minnesota, though. That's where I
It's
grew
in
up.
Minnesota too. Yeah.
When you
when
see
you
like
see to the north, you're like, oh, you're really dedicated.
You
Yeah,
better
'cause
be
it
in
wasn't
high
even your
school.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You better. I bet whoever's driving the car, you better be young,
Yeah.
or I will truly
They
be
did
like,
get
oh,
to
you
that
pig."
part of history class where your state wasn't included.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you enjoy Tucson when you were a kid?
Well, yeah. When I was a kid, it was awesome. It was such a fun place. It was rattlesnakes and fucking pumas. And
Oh, you were a big
coyote-
creature kid?
you can't not be.
I do agree
You're
with
picking
that.
up a
I don't trust a kid who doesn't think
No.
animals are cool.
And I'll pick up, like, I hate spiders. I will scoop a tarantula off the ground. They're not scary in the same way. They're like, they're 8-legged hamsters.
All right, I don't know what the fuck you're talking.
Yeah.
You have to- you ever picked
I've
one
never related to something a person has said less.
All right. They
You're
chill.
saying a giant spider with
is
giant
less
fangs
is less spidery than a black widow.
That's
for sure.
so dumb. What you're saying is so dumb right now. You're saying like a spider that's
You
just
can see its
tiny
little
that you
face.
could kill.
The little ones
You mean
move
the
too
b-
fast.
Huh?
The little ones move too fast. It scares me. I hate that about
They
them.
literally have giant fangs that could like fucking go right into your skin.
They don't though. They don't go in your skin. They could, I guess. Anyways, to scoop
I
those
think-
up.
Wait, so what do you
Luke-
mean? So you've picked up live tarantulas before?
Yes, I've scared
You're
them
saying
out of
this-
their
no
homes.
one's from Tucson. I don't
Oh.
know what you're talking.
It's
You're saying this
everybody
like
does
it's
it. Yeah,
relatable.
you pour a little. You get a little bottle of water. You pour it down a hole with some spider web on the front, and it runs out. And then you scoop it up, and then it just chills in your hand because your hand is warm and it,
doesn't.
likes
It doesn't bite your hand.
No, you can tell if it's gonna fuck you up. You don't touch it. If I'm being honest, like
Do they make noises?
Yes, they hiss. They don't make noises from their
They're
throat.
so spiders are the
Yeah.
most unhuman, unholy thing
Yeah.
alive, and a giant furry one that I
Yeah.
could look me in the eye, not just a little that has like a credit score that's big enough to fuck with me. You know?
Yeah.
I know that's
They're,
terrifying. The fur adds another. It's from hell.
The fur makes it hamster.
No, it's not a hamster. Have you
It's-
seen a hamster? It's an adorable
They're
little thing.
they're like less-legged tarantulas.
All right, this is how soulless and not fun Arizona is.
It
a
is
place
not
where it's
a,
like 130 degrees in the fall, where you have to be like, oh no, that's what hamsters are. These fucking creatures from hell.
Yeah, they're the bunnies of the desert.
I've only seen 120 like a few times in my life, but that's something. If you ever get a chance, go check that
Like
out.
a nest?
No,
You mean
120
120
degrees.
Oh.
That's like the negative 40 days here when you're just outside. You're in awe.
Yeah, yeah.
You're just like saying you're like unreal. And
Yeah.
you're like uncomfortable, but you're also impressed to some degree.
Yeah,
Right.
the polar
120 is
vortex,
like,
bro.
yeah.
I was like, wow, good for us for being able to do this.
I
this is-
liked it.
Yeah.
I liked that whole experience.
I remember I walked with my roommate to Target, which I think was like 1.5 miles, and it literally felt like, in Hoth when Luke gets stranded and he's got to like lightsaber open that
Oh yeah,
the Teton.
sure.
That's what it felt like, and we had to talk to each other like because I couldn't see him, so I had to call him on the phone. It was like a radio.
You had a radio? Oh, sorry.
I wish
What
I
the
had a
fuck? Okay,
radio.
yeah.
Sometimes I think radios are.
Did you have radios as little kids?
Oh,
That was
yeah.
a big thing.
did.
Speaking of dads,
Really
like
did.
with the rocket, like my mom would
Walkie.
have one, and we would wander around the desert, and she would hail us.
Yeah. So were you born in a compound? Like this all sounds like we'd play with the tarantulas before
No.
target practice.
parents
like this.
were very never had guns in the house. Guns. All my friends had guns in their houses, so I just got
right
to, play
to,
with their
to
guns.
shoot the tarantulas. To shoot the. You described it like we got Arizona's fun. You got rattlesnakes. You
Yeah.
got tarantulas. You got poisonous animals.
for
trying
like
to
a
kill
little
you.
kid. That's a hoot.
A little
That
kid.
is-
That's a trip to the ER.
Well, he
You
doesn't
think
know
you
that
see
he's having a good
rattlesnake?
time until he's bit. Have you ever shot a rattlesnake that upset you? One that scared you personally? Have you ever been? Listen, there's something
I
crazy
love
that
you
happens.
just keep saying unrelatable things. Well, you ever held a tarantula, looked in its eyes, and gave birth? You ever shot a rattlesnake that killed your father? You ever taken down a
lashed out.
puma that you've been chasing for generations?
I've been chasing him, but the
It's like, what are you talking about?
the
The most unrelatable. But you're saying it like it's a cop. You ever been chasing a
Where did you
rattlesnake
grow
through
up?
the desert? Huh?
Where did you grow up?
North Carolina.
Kenyon has done
That's
the
woods?
same thing though.
I've never been in the woods.
No, but it's not the woods.
No,
It's-
no.
It could be anywhere.
Kenyon
Okay.
can say shit from his life that's relatable, like, oh, when you're just like stealing pills when you're 16 and smoking cigarettes through your nose. And you're like,
Thievery and sin. That's your fucking story. Sorry, I have joyful child memories of killing rattlesnakes with rocks. It takes a while.
but it did scare you, right?
Oh, the noise? That's
No,
the
the rattlesnake, right?
Yeah, they're horrifying, and it's like when you hear them first before you see them, it
Uh-huh.
like it's like your reptile brain. You
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
it
yeah.
in your spine. You're like rah, and you're like looking around for it, and it's right there, and you fucking shoot it with a gun because they're little
So
bastards.
when
and they'll
did
kill
you?
your dogs.
When did the gun enter your? Your parents didn't have guns, but you had a gun growing up?
Eventually, yeah.
The guns weren't in the house; they were in the shed.
No, my parents
Okay.
just were. My parents were like engineers, and they were in the Air Force,
Okay.
and they were like my mom was a lieutenant colonel.
I feel like this
They
is
were
somehow
like-
a side story. Your parents worked for Area 51.
My grandpa may have.
What do you mean may have?
We can get into that.
Yeah, let's get
Oh,
into
right
this.
now, okay.
This is we're holding
We'll move-
microphones.
move
This
from
is
the
it.
Arizona thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So my grandpa was a colonel. He worked in the during the Berlin Wall
Okay.
thing. He was a spy, like wrangler. So he would go recruit spies and manage them on the east side of the Berlin Wall to the west side of Berlin. So he wasn't a spy. He was a spy like captain. I
He's
guess.
like a spy pimp.
Spy pimp. God, yes. Why have I never thought of? He's a spy pimp. Everything I just said is so dumb compared to the
Spy pimp.
perfect nuance of spy pimp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He has a stable of spies.
Yeah.
So
A bunch of spies.
I gave you-
keeping them in check.
yeah.
I gave you 3 gadgets. Why are there only 2 gadgets right here? Bam, bam.
Yeah.
So
Slapping him.
and then he
See both sides of his hand if you're a double agent.
he knows about it. He'll set you up as a double agent. I think that's what
So
I think
that's
that's what
kind
he
of
was
a crazy.
looking for.
So your grandfather is a spy pimp, and then your parents, they're moving all over the place,
Yeah.
like someone who's hiding something, and you're living in the middle of the desert, and it's just these two strange
On the
nerds
end
who
of-
don't
yes.
own guns, but they're just
Yeah.
like out hiding here,
Well, this means they didn't grow up in Arizona. I grew up in Arizona, so I'm more into guns than they are.
right?
They
Because
think
you have
they're
to defend
stupid.
yourself.
Yeah.
And they're right.
Yeah.
From tyrannical government. That's right, Ken.
Yeah.
Yes, Ken. Oh, God.
Not tarantulas, but you're like
Kiss the spider, Ken.
yeah.
Kiss the spider, shoot the senator. Can't you? Don't you see? You understand now.
I was like, yeah, these things with evil fangs, and you're like, yes, Dr. Fauci, That is
Pelosi, Fauci.
yeah.
These are the hairy beasts that run our society.
yeah.
The spiders are our
Well,
friends,
they're-
okay?
Ken and I have much.
Spider web is CNN. I mean,
That's the web of lies right there.
Okay, so then he was the Berlin guy.
yeah.
That ended. And then he was at
Spy
Wright.
pimping's hard.
It is, I hear. But he did a good job, and they won. And so then he went to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, where he was in charge of the Foreign Technologies Department of the Wright-Pat Air Force Base. There's a bunch of conspiracies about the Foreign Technologies Department of the Wright-Pat Air Force Base being like where all the Area 51 stuff went.
Damn.
And I've asked him. I found this out in high school.
Did
and
you
my
a-
sister,
you asked him
Oh
point
yeah.
blank? What'd you-
My
what'd
sister
you
and I
say?
like cornered him. We're like, old man, confess.
Yeah.
He didn't budge. We asked him, have you ever seen an alien? And he said, yeah, they were dead, just the dead ones. And he's not that funny. So like that was somebody told him to say that. I believe. Yeah.
So his whole life, no sense of humor. And he's like just the dead ones, like
He's
joking
like-
around, or do you think that was an honest admission?
I don't know. He's funny, but that was too quick.
Yeah.
That was too. Me and my sister was like,
That's like too quick of a response.
That's some SNL writing.
Yeah. That's
beyond
almost
you.
like, what do you say if your grandkids
Yeah.
ask about this? Say just the dead ones,
Just the
laugh
dead
it off,
ones.
and then
Yeah,
look
yeah,
forward. And try to
Yeah,
keep them from the truth that we have been owned by the Greys a long time ago.
I believe he knows the Greys, and he won't
Yeah.
confess that. My cousins are on my team too.
What's
That-
the Grays?
That's a type of alien.
on,
So you
man.
were a nerd in elementary.
Nick.
Greys are like, when you like a photo of an alien and it's like a gray little guy.
Yeah.
With 2 big eyes. It's
Uh-huh.
kind of naked.
Right.
It's called the Greys.
I didn't
Not
know
a
that was
gray.
a race of
It is a race of aliens.
Yeah.
There's also the whites. There is the whites.
That's the thing.
That's a thing. There's
I know this because I was into sci-fi when I was a kid, and I brought
Yeah.
a book from the public library about aliens because they're just throwing it right in your face.
Yeah.
Because they're just throwing the truth right in
They're
your
just
face.
letting you fucking know. That's the
the
one
best way
thing-
to hide it.
That's the biggest. Like my text relationship with my mom is that I get whenever Tucker Carlson goes off about the aliens
Wait, Tucker Carlson goes off about aliens?
every Thursday.
No,
Yes, he does.
he goes off about
Aliens.
extraterrestrial beings.
Extraterrestrial beings every Thursday. Tucker Carlson.
No, he does not.
And yet
He goes off about
And yet
like
he does.
people learn.
I mean, it's crazy.
He goes off about like I don't know, kids learning history in schools, but not
That
fucking,
bugs him too.
Yeah.
But he's also concerned about the extraterrestrials.
See, this is why we need a fucking
keep
screen
snorting.
in here because we'd put up this video right now.
Oh
if
yeah.
this is-
Absolutely.
There's dozens of.
Have you? Has your dad ever like weighed in
He
on
thinks
this?
it's bullshit.
He thinks the aliens is
would.
Huh?
Yeah. He doesn't. No. He thinks he doesn't believe in aliens.
Right. Even though
And his dad is the alien spy pimp.
also.
Yeah.
Probably a pimp of aliens as well.
So I was like, yeah, you would say that, wouldn't you?
yeah,
Yeah.
he's probably an alien himself.
One of the biggest fights I've ever gotten with my dad is about aliens. Aliens and 9/11. Me and my dad really butt heads on.
I tried to
And I'll
bet
let
he
you
did
try to guess
9/11.
where I am on both of those.
You think Building 7 needed to go, and you think aliens are real.
My
So he
dad-
doesn't believe in aliens.
If you bring up Building 7 to my dad, he'll go like, look up the architectural managers distinction on how the
he a
destruction of
foreign
buildings.
man?
Yeah, he's a British guy.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I'm
No, I
sorry.
had a stroke mid podcast.
So you would like we'll
I
get
was about to pull
friends-
my phone, just dial
Yeah.
9-1. I'm like, Nick's just having a blood
Dude, you
aneurysm.
get too far into conspiracies, they fuck you up permanently.
Absolutely, but I
break
like
your
to
brain.
just poke his buttons a little bit on the
Sure.
9/11 thing, and then aliens. He goes, "Oh, it's just rubbish," which is you can't really argue against. It's rubbish.
I don't know.
No,
It's just
that's-
so big. I feel like there has to be somewhere.
Well, there's a squid for sure.
Yeah,
that's
that's
a conversation I had with my dad when he was like,
that's what you could be like. We don't have to say they have ships or anything, but there is a squid.
"There's a
somewhere.
squid.
There's a moon.
There's
a
one squid.
There's like a weird fish on a moon. Can we agree that there's us and there's a weird fish on the moon?
I feel it is likely there's a fish on a moon." And that's
Yeah.
how we ended the conversation.
So your dad is a very even-keeled guy. What kind of dad was your dad?
Real strict military, even keel. We became friends in my 20s.
Okay, so
Yeah.
would you say good dad? Just like
Great
called
dad.
it a day,
Great
but it
dad.
was just like
Cool
strict.
dads suck.
Right.
Cool dads are bad. All my friends with cool dads were like, "You can try a little pot." They did heroin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
Cool dads
Cool dad's great hang,
you
but bad dad.
Fucked up. Yeah.
I kind of feel that now, where I would say my dad is. I wouldn't even say he's cool, but he is funny / interesting.
Oh, mine too.
Yeah.
Far from cool. That's a Republican blog. He's a.
Oh, you're right. Oh, your dad writes a Republican blog.
He's retired. He's doing his politics. He's very involved.
Okay.
That's what he does.
I like some old
Yeah.
guys pick like model trains, model airplanes. Some old guys just go, "I'm just gonna tinker around with this politics."
I'm gonna figure out this whole.
He's like,
Congress
well, if I get mad enough on
situation.
Facebook, I can fix the whole thing.
He won't go on Facebook. He's not on. He's also
for
that's
him.
what also I appreciate about him because he's like, I got a political dad who's not on Facebook.
Oh, that's
which
great.
is
That's
what more could you want?
Does
Right.
he just
Yeah.
text you stuff or like?
No, he makes he for a while there was like if you were to Bing speech suppression.
Bing?
Yeah, Bing.
So
Very
you can't be
specifically
Googling.
Bing. He won't show up on Google. But if you
China
binged
blocks
speech
it out.
suppression, yeah, his blog was like number 3. It was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah. What's it called? Lost Cabin Speakeasy, the blog.
Oh my good. Oh
It's a good
my.
name.
Oh
It's a
my
good name.
God.
Plug. That's
It's a good
what.
name.
That's what you're plugging.
Oh,
We asked you if you wanted to plug
Enjoy
anything.
it.
Plug
Lost
that bad boy.
Cabin Speakeasy
Yeah,
for
give it
sure.
a look. And then the yeah, I don't
What
know.
do you guys do together when you get together?
He taught me how to ski and play guitar.
Those are
And
cool things.
Now we just kind of pal around. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
This really sounds like just a great after-school special, wholesome experience. You know.
It's good now. I was grounded for like 8 years.
So let's get into that. What was the not? What was the not good?
I was like, I kept getting D's in school.
Okay,
Failing
just because you're too
classes.
busy just strangling rattlesnakes outside.
It was stressful.
You're just fight. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you got. I mean, literally, you know when you're like grandparents, like back in my day, I had to like back in your day, you probably had to fight a jaguar to death on the way to school.
Yeah. Never saw one, but they make the news when they show up. It's very exciting for
Right.
everybody in Tucson. They're like, "Oh, there's one here." It's like,
Why
it's
is that?
like
I'd be like, okay, if I
Because
saw
it's
that.
a jungle cat.
I know,
like
but-
with spots, and it's in the desert. And they're like, "Fuck, look at that!" They
I
take a
know, but like
picture.
that or bears, it's like one of the most humbling things I realize. Like, if I'm alone and I see it, it's done.
Oh, yeah.
That's the end of Kenyon. Like, if I just see a bear or jaguar, it's over.
I was at a wedding in the Sierras, and I saw dudes chase off black bears like it was a cat.
What?
Yeah, apparently they are just that scared of people. They literally go, they're like, "Get out of here!"
Yeah, you just gotta
Yeah.
make noise and then they're gone.
Yeah, and it's important not to mess it up with a grizzly. There's apparently different rules.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Well, is
black
the
bears
black
are
bear
bears.
kind of smaller? It's like a lab or
A
something.
black bear, you could kick its ass.
You could, yeah. A
It's
black,
possible.
A black bear, you're like,
Yeah.
there is potential. Like, if you die,
Yeah.
they're like, he wasn't working out.
It's like, could you beat up Zach Orion or a black bear? You're like, there is a world where I could do this. It's the same thing.
It's technically possible. Whereas grizzly, there is literally no chance.
Grizzly, they do this thing where they just lie on things and begin eating them before they're even dead because they're so big. Imagine that death.
I don't.
You're just-
I've thought
you're not
about.
even
I'm like,
dead,
I
it's
think
just
that's the
eating
worst
your
thing. It's just
arm.
like a wild animal eating you alive. I think that's the worst thing.
In a
Yeah.
different
And the thing
one.
that sucks about that
Yeah.
is how most death is.
Yeah.
Like, that's how most things die. It's just like, fuck, ow, ow.
And then there's
ow,
a
and then,
point
yeah.
you see it on like wildlife documentaries when like the lion is hunting the gazelle and the gazelle for a minute is like fuck, and then there's a minute where the gazelle just kind of lays there and goes like, well, we had a good run.
It's because
you
they
know?
bite them on the throat. Cats have the decency to kill shit before they
Yeah,
begin
yeah,
eating.
yeah.
Grizzlies would just lay on top of a deer and eat its fucking leg. And the deer's screaming. The bear's like, indifferent. It's not my leg,
I
not my
think
problem.
there's some sort of mathematical equation that when 3 men start a podcast, there's only a certain amount of time before they start talking about different bears.
Truly.
What, you got any
It's
fun
like,
facts
you
about polar
summon
bears?
as soon as you summon the spirit of Joe Rogan, you start talking about bear. We're gonna be like, who would win in a fight, a chimpanzee or a grizzly bear? Like,
That's a great question, Kenny.
Yeah.
Brings up a lot of things I could talk about for about 14 hours.
Yeah, so you were getting a lot of D's, and why was it? You're just not good in school? You weren't.
No, I was just
boring?
an ass. One teacher called me an educational saboteur. And
Okay,
that
that's like
really-
such a
that
smart way
really
to call
hit me.
someone.
And
a-
it really
Every
like
comedian
hit
got
me
that,
right.
though.
Yeah, and I was like,
Yeah, I was
suck.
terrible in school.
I'm ruining this for kids. We're trying to like learn trigonometry, and I'm like, dicks and you're gay.
So,
thing
so
is,
you
like,
were
no kid is like
just
that.
lighting up a crowd.
I was a clown. Yeah,
Yeah, you were
Whole
just
time.
being. You see 7th grade algebra, and you're like, great crowd,
Great crowd.
great turnout.
Look, they're stuck.
Well, this is hot. This is a hot room. You need a hot room, you know.
I guess
And-
I'll perform for them
Yeah,
again.
I got a
I've done it
new.
every day.
I got a new
for the
5
past
about Miss
3
Dyer's
months.
ass that we're about to break out and just murder.
Got to the point where teachers would just block me at the door and be like, "No, go."
Really?
Wow.
I deserve. I was a
You were
bad.
that-
You were that good.
You were
I was
killing
that
hard.
hilarious.
You get a standing O
Yeah,
every
I was,
time.
like,
Yeah,
kicked
yeah.
out of rooms
Yeah, absolutely. The bell goes off. Everyone's like, encore. You're like, I got to go to lunch, guys. Hey,
Do you have
I'll be in the green room.
Do you have one time you remember that distinctively, like, oh, I went too far?
You're staring off the
So they
distance
say
like there was a
6
dark
million.
time.
Right? That's a crazy.
All right.
No, I don't.
All right.
No, I don't have one.
I would just love a fifth grader
Sorry.
just being like,
What do you mean 6 million? No, I never
not
did
even,
that.
Not even
Okay.
talking about the
No.
Holocaust at all. They're just like,
I was gonna
okay,
try
well,
to turn it into some kind of like, I don't know, 6 million something else, but I lost track of the joke.
Everyone-
I just
It was a
heard,
Holocaust joke
I
again.
just heard 6 million and started holding the podcast mic real uncomfortable.
Sorry.
It's like, all right.
No, I can't remember a time going too far. I wasn't like ever mean. I wasn't a bully. I was just
You're just fun.
I was just a fun guy.
You're fun
dude,
guy.
I don't know if
Wasn't
I've
even
told
fun. I
this
was- I
on
was
this
thinking it was probably
podcast before,
annoying.
but I remember one time there was we were in gym class, and the day before we had gym class 2 days in a row, and the day before our gym teacher just like had us play dodgeball, and she was like crying in the corner of the gym, and so the next day I was like, this is gonna be really funny because she hadn't shown up yet, and I was like, hey class, do you think we're actually gonna have gym class today, or we're just gonna watch Miss Baker cry? And everyone just kind of like looks at me like, dude, what the fuck? And then I look behind me, she's right there, like she just.
Oh, so
walked
you were
in.
just a mean dick.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody laughed, and you're an asshole.
And she just went, Nick, outside. And I remember being like, oh fuck, like the feeling when you're a kid.
Guilt or like shame or what?
Guilt, shame,
Okay.
fear.
Well, you
'cause I
had
was like-
empathy.
and the
Yeah.
joke bomb.
and
And the joke
bomb.
bomb.
Yeah, there
Clearly
was
the
no-
top thing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No positive.
Nothing. Oh fuck.
And I remember just being like, it was like I crashed, like I rear-ended her. I was just like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was doing. I was just trying to be funny.
You're like,
you know?
listen, I need their validation. I don't like myself fundamentally. I have a very low self-esteem. I live for moments like that. I thought it was going to work.
Like
Like,
five
I
of
know.
them.
Yeah. I
There's
don't really have a
dozens of
thing. I'm not good at sports. I'm not very smart, you know, and I kind of thought like that'd be my thing. I don't think that's my thing as well, you know.
Yeah, but she was just like, I'm very disappointed in you, and then
That
gym
And then that
class,
started
I
a
ran-
lifelong pattern of women saying that to you.
Yeah. And I ran hard as fuck at that gym class, though.
What, that
I was
day?
like trying to prove that I was like a good kid. So I
By
was
how,
like,
Did you
how
have a
fast
4-minute
you were?
mile?
yeah,
Could you do a 4-minute mile?
I could never do a 4-minute mile.
I did a 4-minute 30-second mile.
Holy shit, really?
No.
Okay.
No. I looked like this. Nothing changed. I could squat a tremendous amount of weight.
The look you gave though just felt like, and I remember that 100 rattlesnnakes coming at me that day. I was having to run enough speed to jump over the Grand
I had to
Canyon.
get over there. It's just tall tales from Arizona.
Yeah.
Well, Luke, thanks for coming on, man. That was fun.
Thank you. This was fun.
Do you what should people follow you on if you want them to?
Twitter, I guess.
Twitter's your most fun.
Yeah. I don't know what it's called. Luke Neuman.
Luke Neuman on Twitter, guys.
We'll put it on in the
Yeah.
description.
Right,
We'll put it in the
I'm on there.
description.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
find it and I'll put
We
it
got
on
it.
I'm sure it's my name.
somewhere.
Well, you're
that's
there.
involved.
That's good.
I don't have a fun Twitter name.
And as soon as the Lincoln Lodge comes back up, come check out shows over there, everybody. We got to run because we got to record the Patreon, which you people should be on. God
Yeah.
damn it, you should be
How
ashamed
much
of
is the
yourself.
Patreon?
$3.
I'll give
You get it $3 a month.
And
Luke's
I'll
gonna
be
do
on
it.
your Patreon.
We get-
Luke,
buy
we'll
so
get
much-
Luke back on the page. We'll
Yeah.
get into some real shit.
Oh
Yeah.
Now
We'll get
then
into
we'll
some-
talk about the
Ooh, I
sick.
can't
yeah,
believe North Korea trip.
We'll
I
get
did.
into some dark shit on the page. On the page. $3 a month, you get an extra episode. $100, we come interview you at the scene of the crime where your parents orients it, and then $10 you get some shirts and shit. Great.
Speaking of, I should have done this at the beginning of the episode. We have a new $10 level member.
I didn't even know about this.
Yeah, Nolan Watts, baby. The king. Anything you hear musically in this podcast came from him, and he's a $10 member.
So he's just a great guy all
How do I
around.
know that name?
A literal god.
Sorry, I'm talking over your thing.
Nolan Watts?
Well, you made this theme song. That's probably it.
Yeah, that's probably how you know
Is he
him.
like a local guy?
No.
Okay. Sorry.
He makes music, though.
You're closing out. Right on.
That's okay.
But,
Thanks for
yeah.
listening. Thanks for watching. You're the best. Bye. Hey, guys, you just listened to another episode of Fuck You Dad. If you could follow us on our Instagram, which is FCKYOUDAD podcast. That's the important one. We also have a Twitter account, which is FCKYOUDADPODCA1. If you could follow that. Also, please submit any father stories that you have that you'd like us to make fun of, laugh at, or share. Shoot that to our Instagram DMs. And if you could please go ahead and rate the podcast, share the podcast with your friends and family that might enjoy it, and keep listening. Thank you so much.